The Yankees are going to have to build some real momentum coming off that Game 3 win in this weekend's Subway Series with the All-Star break and the trade deadline both around the corner. So Ryan Garcia of Empire Sports Media is on to talk some Yankees baseball. Ryan, I need that same fire and energy you had in your tweets over this weekend. Thanks for hopping on with us, and let's get straight into this. Coming out of this Subway Series on a scale of 1 to 10, what's both your and the fan base's confidence level in the Yankees after 90 games?
I'll say it's dropped precipitously to like a 5. Like I was like at a 9 or a 10 coming into June. The team was, I believe, like 7.5 games up in the division. They had everything firing on all cylinders, and since then they've had multiple extended losing streaks. They've fallen out of first place. Clark Schmidt is out for the rest of the season, and Fernando Cruz will be out with for an extended period of time. So things are not going well in Yankee land, and this weekend was another example of the continued disaster for the Yankees over the last month or so.
When things aren't going well in Yankee land, there's a lot of finger pointing that goes on because this is a finger pointing type city here in New York City. So who should get the blame for the on-field product that we've seen over the last 3.5 weeks or so? The duo of Boone and Cashman, or the players?
I think it's a fair share that goes around to everyone on Cashman, although we don't really know if ownership would have allowed him to pursue an infielder over the offseason. Not acquiring one has turned out to be a really bad move. For Aaron Boone, not putting Jazz Chisholm at second base is, in my opinion, a huge blunder. And in some games, you'll see Jason Dominguez or Ben Rice sitting against a right-handed pitcher. I think both those hitters need to be in those matchups so you can have the best chance to win. And then for the players, I mean, they have to play well. Aaron Boone can't make his bullpen not blow games. Brian Cashman can't make his offense hit better with runners in scoring position. It's a fair share of everyone kind of plays a part in what's gone on over the last month.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Jazz Chisholm because we got video here of him kind of talking about his injured shoulder on his throwing arm. So check this out, and then I got to get your response.
Are you more hitting or throwing?
Throwing.
Yeah. You attribute it to some of the throwing errors?
I'll never use anything as an excuse, ever. So I would never say it contributes to that, Yeah, my arm was sore, but that doesn't mean I shouldn't make a play.
All right, you think Jazz is calling Boone out on this one? First, it was him saying, like, everyone knows I'm a second baseman, and now we've got this video. Is he calling out Aaron Boone?
I don't think he's calling out Aaron Boone. I think he's just stating the obvious, which is that the New York Yankees are better with Jazz Chisholm at second base. I think it's really bad that they've continued to force him to play third base to accommodate for DJ LeMahieu, who may not be able to handle third base due to all the injuries. But at this point, if you're going to be slow, unable to play multiple positions, and not really hit, I don't think you're the guy that should be starting every day. Jazz Chisholm has -2 fielding run value at third base. He has made multiple errors that have resulted in run scoring, but at second base, he has +2 fielding run value. Another note, Anthony Volpe's defense has regressed since Jazz Chisholm's moved to third base. He went from +5 defensive runs saved when Jazz was at second to -3 defensive runs saved since Jazz has moved to third base. So the whole infield defense has been a disaster since they've made that one switch.
All right, let's put Brian Cashman in the crosshairs on this one. With Jazz out of position, we all agree on that, and another starting pitcher going down, what's more important at the trade deadline, third baseman or another starter in the rotation?
It's a tough question, but I'll say a starting pitcher just because what you can do is maybe the acquisition of Heimer Candelario allows you to play him at third and move Jazz back to second. Perhaps Oswald Peraza figures out something and can play at third base. With the rotation, though, you are in a really tough spot because losing Clark Schmidt, who was your third best pitcher, it's not like you have someone who's going to step up and provide that kind of value. I believe Cam Schlittler can be really good for the Yankees, but a rookie being asked to fill in as a middle-of-the-rotation starter is a huge ask. You are getting Luis Heel back, but I think you want to reinforce that pitching staff and reinforce it both the rotation and bullpen.
All right, real quick, let's end this one on a positive note. Let's all woo-saw here because they did actually win on Sunday and snap that losing streak. Aaron Judge, 33 homers in 90 games. He hit 31 through his first 90 games when he broke the AL home run record back in 2022. Does he break his own record this year?
I'm going to go on a limb and say, yes, he does. It's been humid in New York. It's been hot in New York. I think he's going to start seeing the ball fly even more. And I'll also say this, Brandon, the AL MVP race is over. O-V-E-R. This is the best player in the American League by a country mile. I think he's going to hit 64 home runs this year. I think he's going to finish with 64, win that third AL MVP. And if the Yankees get to the postseason, I think this is the year. This might be the year where Aaron Judge has that big playoff run, and we start talking about him as putting this team over the top in the biggest games in October.
All right, let's just hope he makes it to the playoffs and not get hit by any more baseballs by his own teammates. Little friendly fire action going on there. Hey, Ryan, thanks for hopping on with us, man. That was fun.